John! French recovery. This car is proper sick.
Rally in the countryside, rally in the countryside. Rally in the countryside, rally in the countryside. Rally in the countryside, rally in the countryside. Rally in the countryside, rally in the countryside.
Good morning, you absolute lovelies. Welcome back to another cheeky little monkey episode. As you can see, I am wearing my beautiful JZX t-shirt, extremely long. We've also got the brand new JZX hoodies as well, which are absolutely ridiculous. Not gonna lie, the quality is 20 out of 10. That's all the front embroidery, over 40,000 stitches to make those. JZX logo on the back, proper legit logo on the side, and obviously all the tags on the neck, pretty sick. All the fleece lining, double stitching everywhere just to make sure everything lasts. Proper chunky, soft hood as well. And there we go, one JZX jumper. Show you around the back, you can have a little look. Looking pretty gangster. The fit on these is slightly slimmer. If you like your clothes a little bit fitted like me, then sort of order the correct size that you normally would. If you do want them a little bit baggier, then obviously order a size up. Good morning, Nessie Noms.
Good morning.
I would come in, but I suspect you're naked. No doubt the audience want me to come in. I will meet up with you in a sec. I never actually showed you guys our Christmas tree, which we got up about sort of 4 or 5 days before Christmas because we were mega busy doing all the packing. She's pretty cool. I think it's a 5 foot or a 6 foot. Got these cool little presents that my mum made years ago. You kind of stick them on there, and all these little wooden toys as well. All the toys on here, all the decorations are all made out of wood. They're really old school, almost antique, I'm guessing. Ness and I are going to be doing a bit more filming on the Renault 5 GT Turbo today. We're also going to be doing a cheeky race, or John and Jonette are going to be doing a race. We're going to be doing the Mark II 8-valve Golf GTI versus the little French Renault 5 GT Turbo. What have you done, John? After that, I'm going to be grabbing my van. Mr. James is going to be doing a few bits and bobs today just to help me get it through an MOT. Don't forget, if you want to win a absolutely banging simulator just like this one, I've got roughly 290 tickets left in my Vasara giveaway. You can literally win a £14,000 sim for $10.99. This will be the only simulator that I'm actually raffling, so literally your last chance to get a ticket and come and do some fat skids with me. Good morning, you little beast. See if we can get her started first time. Carburetor turn, it is 0 degrees, but we'll see how she gets on. Yeah! Me and the little Frenchie are now out on the open road. If we look behind, there we go, Miss Nessie Noms in the Golf GTI Mark II, looking pretty pimp. It'd be quite interesting to see which car is faster out of these two, because they're both 1990 H-Reg or 91, whatever they are. And I think the Golf 8-valve came out with around 110 or 115 horsepower. I think it was a little bit less than the 16-valve, but it had a bit more torque lower down. I think you guys were kind of telling me in the comment section. These came out of the factory with 118 horsepower, I think. Got a little bit of a straight. She's nice and warm, so we'll open her up. Jesus Christ. One thing I will say, these cars do feel quite bouncy, like I mentioned in the previous episode. Once you get a bit of fuel in the back, it does kind of pull the back of the car down. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot we got a boost gauge. I'll actually see what boost she's running. Let's have a little look. That was about 13 PSI. I'm not kind of sure what boost pressures you can kind of safely run on these. Yeah, feel free to let me know in the comment section if you're a bit of a Renault 5 turbo buff. I might need one of you R5 specialists as well to maybe come round to Scousers, or I could head up to you. Yeah, it does have a slight sort of running issue. It's mainly when you're kind of idling or you're doing a little bit of part throttle. Like now, it gets a little bit hesitant. You can feel it and then it picks up again. When you're flooring it, it doesn't hesitate at all. It's only really when you're idling or, yeah, like I said, you're on part throttle. So I'm guessing maybe the carburetor needs a little bit of a clean, or maybe like a slight rebuild, or maybe one of the jets are blocked or something. To me, it kind of feels like it's running a little bit rich. But yeah, I'm not a specialist with these cars. I am learning as I go. So if anyone out there wants to give us a hand, feel free. Rapid. Right, we'll do a 40 mile an hour rolling start. Just make sure Nessie's got some traction. Yeah! See ya! That's number 1 to the Renault. On the third beat, Nessie Noms, ready? Return! Kind of weird, because yesterday we did a race and the cars were actually a lot slower, but we'll give it another bash just to see if Nessie can maybe get a better start. Definitely a firm victory for the Renault 5 GT Turbo. I think they've probably got quite similar horsepower, these cars, but this car is going to be quite considerably lighter. So I think it's really going to have the power to weight ratio. But yeah, good race from Nessie Noms.
Five minutes later.
John, what have you done, John? We seem to have a slight problem. It's your fault for racing John all the time, man. There's too many races. I think the starter motor's died because I've chucked a battery pack on it. There's loads of life in the battery anyway, but I put a battery pack on it just to make sure. If I try and start the car, it just clicks. So I do believe that the starter motor is fried. What are you doing there, German whip? He just spotted a Nissan Skyline R33. We're hoping he's going to come back and do a little cheeky run. There he is. Yeah. Sick. What do you think, Nessie Noms? R33? I like too. Yeah. While we're here, we might as well show the audience the fucking awesome Mark II Golf GTI. 8 valve is a sick engine, man. Bear in mind she's a bit dirty, but it's a totally original Golf GTI. Quick look round the front. It's got a bit of a sort of wobbly fog light down here, which I need to sort out. Apart from that though, it's in really nice condition. Quite cool in a 4-door as well, because you can fit all your bits and bobs or your family in the back. Pretty sick. Give her a couple of little revs, Nessie Noms. What's the coolest feature about this car, Nessie Noms?
This is here, electric windows.
Yeah, man, because the VR5's got armatronics.
Yeah.
Whereas this is full electric. Oh wait, the Skyline's back. Yeah! Yeah, R33, baby! Nessie's like, smile!
Yeah.
Geezer.
Yeah, you're right.
How you doing, lads?
I'm good, man, you?
Nice to meet you, man. We heard that RB goodness for about 5 miles off, man. What sort of power is she?
It's supposed to be running about 310, but it's not very well, so I was on my way down to Water Extreme to see if they can have
Ah, fair, to go and see Wayne.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Looking to get a cheeky burnout.
Yeah, of course you can.
Yes!
This is what happens when you put a BMW boy in a Skyline.
Sick, man. back to the Golf. We just got very distracted by skylines. Wheels on these as well. I think these are actually off a E30. They're original BBSs, but not the original wheels that came with the car. I have, however, just bought some more BBS RAs in 15-inch. That'd be pretty sick once we get them fitted. Mate, he's loving it. Nessie and I just had a quick little look on eBay, and to be fair, there are quite a few starter motors out there for the old Renault 5. They're about sort of 50, 60 quid. So not so horrendous. We did try bump starting it as well, but we couldn't quite get enough speed to kind of get the car going. So yeah, maybe when Lozzie comes we can try and bump start it again, or yeah, we'll just chuck it on a trailer, take it back, maybe give the starter motor a little whack to see if we can get it going. If not, I'll order a new one and replace it. At least we got the Golf here today.
Oh yeah.
Keep us nice and warm. We've been having a little look on eBay. And there was a chap on Facebook a minute ago who actually just linked us a pretty nice steering wheel. I'll see if I can find it. Not sure if this one is original, but it does look pretty sick. And the matey only wants 40 quid for it as well, which seems pretty reasonable. There was another guy that posted who's also got a stock original GT turbo wheel. So I'll have a little look in a minute and see what he wants for that. Parcel shelves are pretty crazy. The cheapest one I can find, which does seem to be in pretty good condition, is that one, which is 120 quid. I actually bid the guy 90 quid yesterday. He had a best offer, but he got declined. So I might send him a little message to see if I can get a little bit of money off. Crazy to think though, I mean, it literally is just a piece of plastic. Obviously the parts for these now are very rare, they're very hard to find, very scarce. So people can kind of charge, I guess, what they want for the parts. Exhaust wise, we're kind of harping back to the old days. I found this pretty cool Piper sort of rear back box, which comes with one silencer, so I'll maybe get one with a silencer, one without. But I do think that sort of style back box and tip would look much nicer on the back of the GT as opposed to that sort of big bore 7. Might give Piper a little shout and see if we can get our hands on one of those. I think the maddest thing with these cars is really the prices. I mean, this is quite a nice one. I'm going for £14,500. It's mad to think probably sort of 10-15 years ago you could pick up these cars for like 500 quid or £1,000. Now they're obviously super rare and worth a lot of money, but that gives you an idea on what some of them are going for on the web. Horn works. Not quite as cool as the Renault 5 horn, but cool nonetheless. Yeah. And we got sunroof, baby. And you know what? It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not the other Mark II we had was ridiculously clean. But because this one's not quite as immaculate, it actually makes it a lot more enjoyable to drive it. Yeah. Because the other one, you know, that it's so clean, you don't want to go out in the rain, and you don't want to get it muddy. You know what I mean? You start getting becoming a bit of a pansy with it. Whereas this, I mean, it's it's an original car. It's actually in really nice condition, but because it's just not as immaculate, you kind of can relax in it a bit more, can't you?
Drive it.
Yeah, you can drive it properly. Yeah. And it does drive sick, man. We had a little conversation on Facebook the other day, and the 8-valve seems to be very popular with you guys. A lot of you guys are running the 8-valve in the GTIs, and they seem to be a popular conversion as well. I never really knew what the 8-valve was about. I'd always heard 16-valve, so I always kind of thought the 8-valve was shit. But now I've driven it, it's anything but shit. It's actually really, really torquey, very reliable, very simple to work on. Ed was telling me very cheap to maintain. So yeah, I think it's a solid motor. Nessie and I will probably do a video on the Mark II in a couple of weeks. We'll give it a nice clean up. We probably will raffle this eventually, but I want to kind of use it for a bit more.
I think it's also a good daily.
Yeah, for sure. It's not very expensive on fuel.
No.
And parts for these, as much as these cars are quite rare now, they're nothing like those GT turbos, so you still can get bits for them quite cheap, which is nice.
What is the price now for the GTIs?
Roughly, these kind of cars in this sort of condition, sort of 4 to 5 grand. 5 grand really. There we go. It was a very interesting topical conversation about car prices. The fuck's wrong with this woman, man? Crazy badger. Rosie Bear just called. He's about 2 minutes away, so any minute now we should see him coming up the road. We're going to try and maybe give the starter motor a little whack, see if we can get it going. If not, we've got the force now to give it a little push up the hill. We can see if we can start it by bump starting it. Quite cool with the old Renault 5s. They've got this kind of extended bodywork, which does make the car look a lot chunkier. Obviously the original Renault 5 just had the flat panels here without the arch extensions. I'm pretty sure the Renault 5s are quite a bit thinner than normal ones. Some of you guys were saying as well we should maybe look at getting some original wheels. I do think the Compomotive MOs do look pretty sick, especially in white. It really does match the paintwork. Yeah, feel free to let us know if you think we should do a bit of a wheel change. Oh, Lozzie Bear! Woo-hoo! legends. Rescuing my arse once again. Absolute noms confirmed. This is French recovery.
I noticed John scarpered off. Mate, I was at home doing absolutely nothing, in my pants, watching a nature documentary, 2 big breasts come on my screen, and then you ring me.
Sorry,
just
man.
as I was getting to the good bit.
I drop kicked John into the bushes, man. He's a fucking idiot, that guy. Shall we see if we can maybe give the starter motor a whack? I haven't got any poles. Hopefully you've got a big pole. If not, we can try bump starting it. On closer inspection, we can't actually see the starter motor.
I don't think it has one, mate.
Definitely not advertising my super sick Monky London hoodie, available on monkylondon.com. Just stretching. Oh, awesome jumper I've got on here. Ta-da! 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 So yeah, all we needed was a little bump start. I kind of want to turn it off and test it, but I don't want to do that because it will be annoying to start it again. Yeah. Alas, the GT Turbo is back up and running. Not sure for how long, but let's cross our fingers. Back in the Renault. Ooh, it is pretty cold. Get the old heaters going. Hopefully they're not too loud. Yep, they are. We're going to go and put the car away now before John completely destroys it. I'll get on a case with the starter motor and the steering wheel and the stereo and the exhaust as well. Today's video didn't go quite to plan, but we're still going to go and grab the van in a little bit and start doing a few bits to get it through our MOT. This thing is fucking wild, man. I absolutely love it. Yes, it is a little bit probably unreliable. Well, they're not probably unreliable. It's probably the muppets like me that own them, let's be honest. But yeah, even with its character and even with its little charms, this car is proper sick.
A few moments later.
Renault, baby. Right, the theme continues with the French motors today, Mr. Jimbo.
Renault.
James loves a Renault. As you guys can see, like I mentioned earlier, Jimbo's very kindly sorted out all the rear brakes on the party vans. We've got new discs, we've got new caliper, and we've got new handbrake cables as well, which he's now installing, and new pads as well. Look at those, absolutely fresh. Once Jamesy's finished doing the rear brakes, he's going to be chucking on a new power steering pump as well. The old one wasn't completely foobar, but it was leaking. And this was about 75 quid, so it made sense to just get a new one rather than trying to rebuild the old one. Party van is still looking absolutely fantastic. Still got the old cheeky Monky on board.
What I need you to do is pump the pedal 3 times.
Pump it up, down, 1, 2, and hold. That feels nice, yeah, brake pedal feels good. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Well, everything minus the caliper, because the caliper on this side is sweet.
Yeah, it's still quite healthy.
While Jamesy's just finishing off the last side, I'm going to quickly show you guys a nice set of TT wheels that he just refurbished for this Mark 4 Golf. Do look pretty cool. Nom nom. I think you guys can see Jamesy absolutely loves a Polo. Jamesy's also going to be doing a wheel bearing on my Volvo as well next week. I'll chuck his Instagram down here if you need any wheels refurbished or you need any bits doing to your cars, give him a shout. Untitled.com, who am I? Loving the Westwood tractor, man. And it's got a plant growing out of it.
Oi! Tim Westwood.
Tim Westwood, the tractor. I thought that was exhaust. No, it's not. James tells me that's actually going to be the position for the screamer pipe once he turbos it. Mate, it's even got a 5-speed. Alas, one power steering pump replaced with a very flexible bearing. Party van is now looking pretty fresh thanks to Mr. James. man completed it, mate. Well, you completed it, mate. Well done, mate. Joseph. Right, me and this lovely, very cold lady, we're going to go and get a bit of Domino's. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Sorry we couldn't bring you more Renault 5 GT Turbo madness. But yeah, we'll get a starter motor and get her back on the road. Peace.